to life. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Coming to you live from our studios on the John Evans Atta Mills High Street in Accra. Good evening and welcome to the news at 6 on Adoatv. Remember, we are also streaming live on Facebook at Adoatv Ghana. I am Benedicta Dodu. A look at our top stories for tonight's bulletin. Today, Parliament has been adjourned as 1/3 of its members were not in the chamber. Also, the National Road Safety Authority today has launched this year's road safety campaign. This year's is under the auspices of the Ministry of Transport. And in business, Minister of Finance, Honorable Ken Oforiatta, has made it clear that Ghana is not going to the International Monetary Fund for program support and bailout. And in sports, as the Black Stars of Ghana are still preparing for the FIFA 2022 World Cup, however, some key players will not be present for their qualifying match in Johannesburg. Bringing you details of these stories and more in this bulletin. Remember, the evening news is brought to you by Asatec Roofing Sheet and Cookware, Blue City Ties and Accessories, and Vena Mineral Water. Now, moving on to our first story, Parliament today, as of 2:15 p.m., was adjourned by the second Deputy Speaker, Andrews Amwaku, who was presiding pursuant to the August House failure to form a quorum to aid conduct the daily business at the plenary. Per the standing order of the August House, 1/3 of all members, both majority and minority, are needed to form the quorum. However, even after 1 hour suspension, the House could still not form a quorum.
The initial call was made by the Adaklu legislator, Honorable Gavin Zagbozo, who drew the Speaker's attention to its standing orders, which requires that the House forms a quorum. The second Deputy Speaker suspended the House for 1 hour to aid mobilized members despite a 10-minute ultimatum as requested by the member. Even after 1 hour, the 1/3 quorum could still not be achieved. The Adaklu legislator once again drew the attention of the House, saying,
"Since Parliament resumed, we've never had quorum at the start, most of the time. Yet we continue to work in cooperation. But today, Mr. Speaker, the world is looking at this chamber. Mr. Speaker, you've been diligent to the House. You are almost always here on time. And I say that the only reason we don't start at 10 o'clock is when members are not ready. You, Mr. Speaker, have always been around. Sometimes I see you sit here and not even have a health break till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. And I pity that level of this.
However, the Deputy Majority Leader gave some explanation as to why a huge number of the members are not in the chamber.
Look at quorum in context. A House which is a master of its rules and acts in the interest of the nation, where we know that members can be unavoidably absent in the chamber, but will be carrying out parliamentary duty. This morning, for instance, the Committee of Defense and Interior members were at national security. Subsidiary legislation has been sitting. Finance has been having meetings. All I'm trying to say is that if we assume quorum to be suddenly arising, then we will be ambushing our own bona fides as members of Parliament in this chamber. I am not saying, as a matter of law, you shouldn't raise it. But I would say that to the extent that there is nothing major for decision making, we cannot overly rely on it to obstruct our work.
Retaliating, Mahama Ayariga lamented that committee meetings should not be the reasons for which members will not attend to the House.
When we resume from sitting, the majority side should have worked hard to ensure that we have the proper numbers in the chambers. Mr. Speaker, during the suspension, they rang the bell continuously for 1 hour, and still ringing, Mr. Speaker. And we have not yet been able to mobilize 1/3 of the numbers. Mr. Speaker, there is argument about committee sittings. We don't know about any committee sittings. And even if there's a committee sitting and it is in this building, ringing the bell is an indication to the members of the committee that they are needed in the chamber. And therefore, they should have hastened to the chamber to be counted so that we can have a quorum to continue transacting business.
Coming under Article 41A of the August House Standing Orders, Samuel Okudzoto Ablakwa moved for the House to be adjourned.
We all know what is right. And the lesson from today, which must be going into tomorrow and subsequently, is to ensure, or must lead to ensuring, that honorable colleagues come to the House punctually and to conduct business. Based on that, Mr. Speaker, I rise under the authority given to members of Parliament under Order 41(1)(a) of our standing orders, which is express that at any time prior to 3 minutes before the stated time for concluding a sitting, a member may move for the adjournment of the House. Based on Order 41(1)(a), I respectfully ask, Mr. Speaker, that proceedings be adjourned to tomorrow.
The Deputy Majority Leader subsequently noted that leadership meetings at conclaves have also decided that the House be adjourned looking at the time. Accordingly, the Second Deputy Speaker adjourned the House to tomorrow Thursday 10 a.m. in the forenoon.
We cannot suspend the House again. It's past 2, so I'll go ahead to adjourn the House to tomorrow 10 o'clock in the forenoon. Honorable members, I think this House is embarrassed. The cameras are on us. We deliberately suspended the House for 1 hour just to make sure you get the numbers. Yet, we couldn't make out the numbers. I've counted and counted and counted and counted. We still have not made the numbers. Please, let's advise ourselves. The House stands adjourned.
National Road Safety Authority, under the auspices of the Ministry of Transport, has launched this year's road safety campaign. This year's campaign has been dubbed Stay Alive with the hashtag Jai Obonsam Ejumanu. The event was held at the forecourt of the State House here in Accra. Wilson Emmanuel has the details.
The National Road Safety Authority, under the auspices of the Ministry of Transport, on Wednesday, 10 November 2021, launched this year's road safety campaign dubbed Stay Alive with the hashtag Jai Obonsam Ejumanu, which translates in English as stop doing the devil's work. This year's campaign, like previous years, is geared towards decreasing carnages on our roads. Opening this year's launch, chairman of the occasion, Mr. Jermaine Nkrumah, echoed that road safety is a collaborative effort. Hence, all hands must be on deck if we want to cut down on road accidents.
I am delighted to have the singular honor to be the chairperson of this function. And today's launch is only but the beginning of well thought out comprehensive programs and strategies to reduce what we now call the CIDs on our roads. To most of you, CID is Criminal Investigation Department. To us, CID represents crashes, injuries, and deaths on our roads. We actually launched a nationwide road safety campaign to drive a new strategy to reduce the carnage on our roads. I have no doubt in my mind that working together in a collaborative manner, we shall overcome. In fact, the presence of Honorable Kweku Ofori-Siama personally at this function is a clear demonstration of his commitment to road safety.
Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, Engineer Mrs. May Obriyeboa, speaking at the launch, added that an estimated 12,800 people have been killed and injured just in 2021. Hence, the need for all stakeholders to take road safety seriously.
Just between January and October this year, over 2,300 and 12,800 people have been killed and injured, respectively, on our roads. More regrettably so, about 1.6% of our GDP, translating to over $160 million, is lost annually to road traffic crashes. In real terms, this can construct about 110 kilometers of asphalt roads in a year. The National Road Safety Authority is fully aware of this present danger and what it means for our economic and social development. We have led the campaign for safer roads long enough to know that half-hearted measures and cosmetic response from both stakeholders and individuals yield little, if any, dividend at all. If we are to ever make progress or achieve the goal of crash-free roads, then we must start believing the power of human agency. We need to start believing that the actions we take and the decisions we make on the road have implications. The Stay Alive campaign we are launching today is born out of this belief. It is a campaign anchored on our individual and collective obligations to be more conscious, more involved, and more responsible.
Delivering the keynote address, guest speaker Honorable Kweku Ofori-Siama, who is also the Minister in charge of Transport, also called on the general public to make road safety a responsibility and stop blaming the devil.
It gives me much pleasure to be with you this morning on this occasion for official launch of a nationwide road safety campaign entitled Stay Alive. On the 15th of April 2021, His Excellency the President expanded the Interministerial Committee, now bringing the Ministry of Communication and Digitalization, to take a critical look with the task to recommend concrete measures to reduce road traffic crashes in the country. The original membership of the committee was three: that's Transport, Roads and Highways, and Interior. I am happy to report that the committee, after assessing road safety issues, made some recommendations for implementation in the short, medium, and long-term period. Highlight of these interventions are as follows: 1. To scale up the implementation of nationwide road safety campaign. 2. Enforcement of regulation on toll drivers for long-distance journeys, mandatory rest period for drivers, and pre-departure checks at transport terminals. And 3. Installation of speed limiters in certain vehicles. 4. Mandatory refresher training for commercial vehicle drivers. 5. Provision of road signs road line markings, street lights, and crash barriers on major highways. 6. Increase highway patrol to intensify routine road checks and reactivation of the war against road indiscipline. And 7. Automation of traffic enforcement to electronically detect, apprehend, and issue fines to traffic law violators. Our objective of Stay Alive Road Safety Campaign is to call on Ghanaians to be road safety advocates. The call includes debunking the notion that incidents of road traffic crashes are as a result of the devil. Rather, we must take full responsibility and the consequences of our actions and inactions. We are all being called upon today to speak up against bad habits such as a driver found engaging in excessive speeding, wrongful overtaking, driving tired, driving under the influence of alcohol, and
This year's lunch was held at the forecourt of the State House in Accra and saw the attendance of many high-profile dignitaries, which included the Minister of Transport.
The court, as on Tuesday, November 9, 2021, adjourned the case of the 499 law students who were not admitted into the law school to November 19, 2021. The case was adjourned to enable lawyers for the students study the Attorney General's response to their suit. The General Legal Counsel was sued by the students, insisted that the 499 candidates had failed the examinations. The students are demanding that the court further restrains the respondents from treating the applicants as students who failed the said examinations pending the final examination of this matter on grounds set forth in such further orders the court may deem fit. From that, Ghana's Defense Minister, Honorable Dominic Intiwul, has led a high-power delegation to the Adoa Palace in Yendi over some voice recordings circulating on social media, allegedly revealing how the Kokumba ethnic group are preparing to lay a siege on the Dagbon Kingdom and also seize some territories along the eastern corridors to further create a Kokumba Kingdom for themselves. Over the last month, the voice recordings became talk of the town in the northern region, with some individuals also believed to be Dagomba sending a strong warning to the Kokumba group not to commence what they can't finish.
Over the last few weeks, some voice recordings have become talk of town in the northern region. The said tapes are of the conspiracy to seize power in some parts of the north by the Kokumba ethnic group, with some individuals also believed to be Dagombas sending a strong warning to the Kokumba group not to comment what they cannot finish. This has led to the Defense Minister, together with some northern regional MPs, both from the majority and minority caucus, with joint security personnel to the Gbewe's palace to reassure the King of Dagbon, Yana Abubakar II, of their commitment to peace in the region and beyond. Speaking at the gathering, Honorable Dominic Intiwul, Defense Minister, expressed his disapproval at how some young people use unprintable words on social media, which has the tendency of threatening the peace and security of Dagbon and can cause chieftaincy conflict. The minister, who doubles as the Member of Parliament for Bimbela constituency, said it is unfortunate that individuals hide under the cover of darkness to create unnecessary tension among the citizenry.
Some unguided, unscrupulous, misguided, and cultured young men decided that we'll go on Facebook and Twitter and WhatsApp to report. I have over 30 of such recordings to say that there will create confusion between Kokombes, Nanumbes, and Dagombes in the defense centre. Originally, we thought as government that is just on Facebook thing. But today, as we progress over the 2 or 3 days, we realized that this was more serious than we thought. And I'm happy that the Overlord himself has accepted that.
He assured the king that there would not be any conflict either in Dagbon or Nungu. and that the police, through the Inspector General of Police (IGP), have been empowered to identify these individuals and bring them to book. He charged the various MMDCEs in the region to begin stakeholder engagement with the youth to make them understand nothing of the sort will happen.
I want to state that the both Hongkongers, Nanumbers, and the women no want in the war, and there will never be any war here. There will never be any conflict in the northern region, I can assure you, my lord. That is the reason why we are here. We will go after those warmongers, wherever they are, and fish them out. The government has given the IGP the order to fish out all those who are mongering the war and the conflict. Mongering and going on social media, on Facebook or wherever they find themselves, and arrest all of them one by one by one and prosecute them. Of course, the IG is deploying enough security here to make sure that the fishes them out. We want you to help us identify them. You live with them. Identify all those who are sitting cowardly in their rooms and making tapes and saying that will be conflict. Help us to arrest them. Henceforth, anybody who goes to post anything on Facebook, the police will go after you and arrest you. Henceforth, anybody who goes on radio to discuss anything and wonder war and cause fear and panic, the police are empowered to arrest that person.
Honorable James Agaga, Member of Parliament for Bolsa North, underscored the need to maintain peace in the region, stating that those circulating the voices are the people who hate Dagbon and the North at large.
In matters of peace, we are one. There is no distinction between NDC and MPP. The peace and unity of Dagbon and the entire northern region and the north is of paramount importance to all of us. Without peace, we cannot have development. And I'm happy that in His Royal Majesty's speech, he clearly identified peace as a necessary tool. I mean, that is, if you are to have development, the two are like two. We have accompanied the Defense Minister to underscore one point, that we have become privy to some information that is making round on social media, such as Facebook or WhatsApp, about an imminent war between the movement and full movement. So we have accompanied the Honorable Minister for Defense to assure His Royal Majesty and his elders in chief that we are united in our quest to work to ensure that there is everlasting peace and unity between the two ethnic groups of the North.
Still in the northern part of the country, concerned youth groups of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, in Tamale says the Northern Regional Chairman of the NPP, Mr. Mohammed Batima Samba's actions in the region is making the party unpopular. Chairman of the group, Mr. Ilyasu Dauda, at a press conference said it is impossible for the party to use the regional chairman to break the 8 years jinx as the party is anticipating.
Some concerned youth of Tamale are of the view that if the Northern Regional Chairman of the MPP, Mr. Mohammed Batima Samba, is not replaced as soon as possible, the party may not be able to win the 2024 general election in the Northern region, which may affect the outcome of the general election itself. According to them, the chairman's action in the region is making the party unpopular. Speaking to journalists at a press conference, Mr. Ilyasu Dauda, chairman of the group, said it is impossible for the party to use the regional chairman to break the 8th jinx as the party is anticipating. According to him, Chairman Samba is taking undue advantage of his position to claim the glory of the party whenever the party undertakes a project or secures something good in the interest of the party.
Samba led regional executive committee and how their actions and inactions will contribute negatively to breaking the aids. Masa, you do chairman of the party, they give you contract, you are fighting with the people who will vote you in 2024, and you expect to break the aids. How do you break it? How can we break the aids if we have people like Chairman Samba leading our party in the region?
We can't.
Enough is enough.
Yes.
He noted that the group would organize demonstrations to compel the chairman to do the right thing, adding that Mr. Samba promised to sole fund the construction of a party office before his election as the chairman, but the promise has become a castle in the air.
It's still a castle in the air. Oh. We are aware that the party has acquired a plot around West Hospital Junction, but Chairman Samba is saying he is donating his plot in Lamakara to build party regional office. We just hope that the rumor we are hearing is not true, because the plot was bought, or the premium of the plot was paid with party money. But as we speak, the rumor we are receiving is that it is Chairman Samba's name which is in the documents.
Whoa!
Master, this is criminality.
Yeah.
If indeed, and he has mentioned it, that he has donated the plots. He did not say the party has acquired a plot or land. He said he donated. Means it is his name which is in the document of the next thing that we will follow up with a demonstration.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We will follow up with a demonstration. We will compel him to do the right thing.
Yes.
Mr. Elias further registered the group's disappointment over the chairman's misunderstanding with residents of Zogbeili over a poor drainage construction.
Chairman Samba recently went to Zogbeili and met with some opinion leaders and youth groups. He interacted with them and made very weird comments. He said Zogbeili in a city roads construction was political. Again, he said he is using his personal resources to construct the roads. Chairman Samba is indeed right when he said the construction of Zogbeili inner city roads is political. Indeed, it is political. Because those roads was awarded to him before elections.
Yes.
That the Corporate Affairs Officer of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Kofi Atakakra Kusi, has noted that all citizens without a COVID-19 vaccination card will not be allowed to participate in this year of Return December in Ghana activities. He said this as he spoke to Nanaya Ado of Adoa News team.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Mr. Akwesi Achiman, at a press conference held at the Accra Tourism Information Center on the 26th of October 2021 said the authority have made plans to hold various events during this year's Christmas season as part of the Beyond the Return initiative. The Ministry of Tourism and its implementing agency explained that an estimated 1,500 visitors are expected in the country as part of activities lined up to mark the December in Ghana initiative. In a telephone interview with Adoa News exclusively, Mr. Kofi Atakakra Kusi explained the importance of the December in Ghana initiative.
Yes, thank you very much. The December GH events and activities, during the year of return, the year of return obviously was 400 years. We marked 400 years of when our ancestors were taken from Jamestown in Ghana to Jamestown in Virginia. That was the year of return. So what the Ghana Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism did was that we had to fashion out some kind of a program or a project that obviously would bring African Americans each year to Ghana. That is why we had the December in GH. So we are trying to pull all the traffic to Ghana every December. And this is the second year. We had the first one in 2019. That was 2019 during the year of return. So this time around, what we are doing is that it is to pull traffic to Ghana. And also what we have also done is that our Honorable Minister and the Chief Executive have embarked on trips to the US to more or less promote what we call Destination Ghana. Destination Ghana is also to pull the diasporans and people of African descent into our country in order to be able to experience this December in GH. So when they come for the December in GH, what they are expected to do is also to be able to experience our domestic tourism. Right. We are trying to push the agenda of domestic tourism out there to the diasporans and people of African descent for them to come into the country and experience, one, our food, our clothes, our tourist sites and attractions, our music, our dances, all that encompasses our tourism. So that is why we have this December in GH. The Honorable Minister had early on mentioned we are looking at close to about 150,000 diasporans and people of African descent and our own to be involved in this December in GH and Beyond the Return initiative. What actually we're trying to do is that this 150,000 people and beyond are expected to help as part of our domestic tourism campaign to be able, we are anticipating close to about $2.2 to about $2 billion being pumped into the economy. Just as we raked in, like I mentioned, we raked in close to about $3.3 billion into the economy, $3.3 billion into the economy during the year of return. And that is what tourism contributed in 2019 into the coffers of our GDP. So this amid COVID-19, you see, Ghana has been able to manage COVID-19 very well. So in as much as we've been able to manage it well, we are optimistic and very much of much confidence that we are going to have this 150,000 people coming into the country. They are not just coming into the country, of course. They will be observing the COVID-19 protocols. Yes, as part of what the Honorable Minister for Tourism, Dr. Ibrahim Awal Mohammed, and the Chief Executive, Mr. Kwesi Agyemang of Ghana Tourism Authority indicated, we revelers and diasporans and people of African descent who are coming in this December for this December EGH, what they are to do is to ensure that they have the PCR test for 72 hours. Right? And then when they get to the airport, they are supposed to observe all COVID-19 protocols and go through the right channels that have been put in place. As a matter of fact, what we have put in place is that each and every person who is supposed to be at the various events and programs that have been put in place, you are supposed to show your COVID-19 vaccination card before you'll be allowed to purchase a ticket or be allowed to enter. So it is something that we are enforcing. The government, as a matter of fact, before we were to have this launch of December EGH, we had a meeting with the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 and also the Presidential Advisor on Health, Dr. Nsiasare, before taking this step. So it is something that we have gone through national security apparatus, and also the Ghana Police Service will be on the guard. Anybody, any event organizers who flout these regulations, of course, will be dealt with. So this is what we have put in place, please.
As the evening news on Adoatv, we're back shortly with more news.
CB will make up now. Amaka correct. Why your best mankasa? That's it. Who anyone? Oh, middle. You captures back on CB men capsules. Me see CB men capsules na make a year.
Yeah, you CB men and women's capsules na ye nim ni dada. And one ya packaging na ye no fefe.
Wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules no packaging is on. And you also no mood any bianza no akodo ben pegi.
She a painful any about town man kwada no fo.
Susanna, Ghana man man tamasi.
Adoatv 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA adi edwedi nkato yatu.
Blue City is a manufacturing supply of high-quality fashion accessories. We design and make quality bow ties, flying ties, lapel pins, ladies' brooches, fabric necklaces, African wares, and so much more for your weddings, schools, institutions, bands, choir, singing groups, individuals, and so many more. We use both African prints and foreign fabrics to make your beautiful accessories for you. Oh yeah! Contact us via call or WhatsApp or SMS on 0240 926 564. Locate us at Odoko Official Town opposite Emils Preparatory School. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Blue City Fashion. Blue City, creativity and style.
Welcome back and on to business now. The Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has rejected reports that government is seeking to return to the International Monetary Fund (IMF) for program support and bailout. The minister lamented that there is absolutely nothing on the table. This was after a meeting with visiting African Development Bank officials.
There has been reports that government is in the process of going to the International Monetary Fund for some program support to address the current pressures on revenue, rising debt stock, and the troubling budget deficit. Some financial experts and international research firms believe that the recent decision of some offshore investors to get into Ghana's bond is due to the concerns about the fiscal outlook, which may put further pressure on government finances. They claim this development may force the government to turn to the IMF for support to bring about the needed stability and what some describes as policy credibility. Finance Minister on the alternative to deal with the current fiscal situation. The Finance Minister also noted that government is seeking to issue Eurobond in 2022 to deal with the financing gap. He added that it is an option being considered by government together with its incentives. The minister noted that government is also committed in putting in place measures to improve revenue mobilization while addressing budget overruns going into the next year. Ghana in 2015 turned to the International Monetary Fund for some policy support program that came with some $918 million United States dollars for the country. Some market watchers have argued that the 2022 budget presentation may hold the key in helping to bring back investor interest in Ghana's bond after the recent exit due to the concerns about Ghana's fiscal situation.
Ahead of the presentation of the 2022 budget, the director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISSER, Professor Peter Cort, is calling for the scrapping of some nuisance taxes introduced in the previous budget. Professor Peter Cort believes some of the taxes introduced did not live up to expectations with respect to revenue mobilization and should be scrapped. He further advised that if new taxes are to be introduced, they must be substituted with the unproductive ones earlier introduced.
Ahead of the presentation of the 2022 budget, the Director of Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, Professor Peter Cort, is calling for the scrapping of some nuisance taxes introduced in the previous budget. Professor Peter Cort believes some of the taxes introduced did not live up to expectation with respect to revenue mobilization and should be scrapped off. He further advised that if new taxes are being introduced, they must be substituted with the unproductive ones earlier introduced. Professor Peter Cort was speaking on the sidelines on the launch of the State of the Ghanaian Economy Report 2020 and the review of the 2021 third quarter economic performance. Some new taxes were introduced in the 2021 fiscal year, while some already existing ones were adjusted upwards as part of plans towards economic recovery of the country. The government, as part of its efforts to revive the economy, introduced the COVID-19 Health Recovery Levy Act 2021, the Financial Sector Recovery Levy Act 2021, among others.
That is it for business. Sports is next.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
Malaria and tea. You are yet more bono. Malaria, therefore, yao. Enti awo. Ashini customers. When you say, Mammy, I am smart. Apa CB Malakio. I'm man the buyer or the eco school. Share. Say a pianisi berry market ni malaria and tea. I want to mean.
And now, Emma will be around to walk. So we malaria test. Maybe one. And better one. And the CB Malakio. You didn't know. And now I can't bomb as soon as I CB Malakio. And no way so there. And I don't grow. I yet tata shit.
A drawing your ma appeal for. A battery woman for. Any quada won't feed
Susiana. What would you with you?
FD Ashusha sa a jedi and crack to you aja to Musa again.
For some sports update, and Mr. Mauko Afajinu, head of communications marketing of Stanbic Bank and the president of Ghana Table Tennis Association, have finally confirmed that Ghana Table Tennis Association will organize 2 different table tennis competitions in December. According to the president of GTTA, the 2 competitions, Hathramani Memorial Cup, would be held in honor of Hathramani and the Grand Champion in December.
Okay.
Because we have possibly the National Unity Games. After that, we'll have the Commonwealth Preparatory Games in India. After that, we'll have the Commonwealth Games itself.
Okay.
Between we are saying it here for the first, we could be given the opportunity to host the World
Wow.
Youth Championship.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Championship
Wow.
in July. And so next year will be
It's going to be very busy.
Very busy. What's important is for us to be able to put together the right resources, because at the end of the day, we need to have the means to be able to deliver.
Definitely.
Give the players opportunity to perform. And the other thing we hope is that we'll also be able to get a space to give our players even more exposure. You got it so right. So what the league does is to increase their fitness, activity, and competitive levels.
Yeah.
And because they are playing day in, day out, they are able to function at a very high performance level that you need to be able to do well when you go out of this country. And what's important for us is also to ensure that we synchronize activities properly.
Yeah.
Adequate spacing between activities. Because the league is good, it's good for training, it's good for you being up to your highest performance levels. But in addition, as you mentioned again very correctly, there must be space for the national team players, those who are selected, to have the opportunity to prepare and to train. And the league will be part of the selection process, yes. What it is that we also are introducing a ranking process.
Okay.
That would ensure that at every point in time, once you play a game, you earn points that goes
into enhancing your rank.
From tennis, 24 players traveled to South Africa for the World Cup qualifier against Ethiopia. The Black Stars of Ghana left the country without 4 players ahead of their game against Ethiopia in Johannesburg. Thomas Partey and Felix Afena-Gyan have not been included in Ghana's squad to face Ethiopia in the FIFA World Cup qualifiers.
The Black Stars are scheduled to take on Ethiopia on November 11, 2021, before hosting South Africa 3 days later in Cape Coast. 15 players trained in the Accra Sports Stadium on Monday as the team started preparations for the final 2 games for Group G in the World Cup qualifiers. Ghana is hoping to make a return to the World Cup after missing out in the 2018 edition in Russia. A win over Ethiopia and South Africa would guarantee Ghana a place in the playoffs. Partey dropped from the squad due to an injury he picked against Watford in the English Premier League. He is currently a doubt for both games, having picked up an injury. The midfielder has therefore been left out of the squad to face Walias on Thursday, with Milovan Rajevic taking 24 players for the crucial clash at Romando Stadium in Johannesburg. Meanwhile, AS Roma starlet Afena-Gyan is also not part of the squad despite being handed a debut call-up to the national team. The Serie A side is said to have refused to allow the 18-year-old, who has just 2 senior appearances, to join the Black Star camp following concerns that the call-up may have to come too early for the youngster. Jonathan Mensah also left out the squad due to the injury and lack of fitness. Coach Milovan Rajevic charged Black Star players to give it all their possible best for the qualification.
We have to do this properly to achieve our target. So we can make everything easier for ourselves for the future. We all have to put our effort to make this happen. Everything is depending on ourselves. Yesterday match was okay. We were a little bit tired from the trip in the beginning. What I wanted from these matches, because since we don't have much time when we are in the camp, I want you to feel each other, you know, to work together. We can bring some additional energy to our game. Check our strength and as you know, we have 2 important matches in a short period of time, and we have to do it professionally and to, you know, have strength to carry on. So we all have to do our best. You are all aware.
The full-man squad are goalkeepers Joseph Wallacott, Lawrence Atizige, Richard Atta, defenders Andy Yadom, Philemon Bafo, Baba Abdul Rahman, Daniel Amate, Alexander Diku, Joseph Eidu, Ismaila Abdul. Midfielders: Baba Idrisu, Mubarak Wakaso, Edmond Ado, Mohamed Kudos, Daniel Kofitre. Wingers: Andre Ayew, Jordan Ayew, Abdul Fattah, Kamel Dean Sulemana, Samuel Owusu. Strikers: Richmond Boachi Yadom and Caleb Ekuban. The Group G encounter will take place at the Orado Stadium on Thursday, November 11, 20.
That's it for sports. Entertainment follows shortly. Now, Pioneer Beauty Queens of World Top Model Ghana 2020-21 are set to represent Ghana in various countries, respectively. In an interview with Adoatv, they shed more light on their journey, experience, and opportunities presented to them during their reign.
Beauty Queens of World Top Model, a pageant organized by International Pageant Hub with the motive of promoting Ghanaian models and giving them international platforms. Maiden edition was held earlier in 2021, where 3 contestants, Valentina Nate, Regina Fibadaze, Marilyn Nambini, emerged winner, first runner-up and second runner-up respectively. Speaking exclusively to Adoatv's Cassandra Kujo from the entertainment desk, the beauty queens spoke about their experience being pioneers of the beauty pageant.
I went with the motive of winning, so I was not surprised, but I was excited. I was happy that my supporters and God didn't fail me here.
It was a good and a fair experience. Everyone had their fair share in it. Looking from how we were selected all the way to giving tasks and also executing the task and delivering everything on point. And then selection in the winner. So our manager and the main organizer felt it good that it be given to us, so we deserve it.
It was a nice experience for me too. I mean, there were ups and downs. There were some parts where I felt like, wow, this is a lot of work. But in the end, I feel like it was better for me. It was a good experience. And on the final day, I think I felt better about even winning Best Talent than about the whole thing. Thank you.
However, they debunked the popular assertions that no pageantry is fair in Ghana.
To me, I've not experienced anything of that sort because I mentioned I've not been into any pageant before.
I must agree with her that everything is free and fair and square, and this is because they saw that we well deserved it, and that's why they give it to us.
I believe the 3 of us are who deserve to be in this position, so everything was fair.
They further went on to talk about the opportunities presented to them after taking over as winners of the World Top Model Ghana and encouraged ladies to pursue their dreams without relenting.
Talking about the prizes, not only me going outside the country to represent Ghana, but also I was given a brand new iPhone 11 Pro and some money. Yeah.
So there have been opportunities like going to Bali to represent Ghana for Miss Polo International, 2 opportunities in Turkey, and 1 opportunity in Lebanon. So all of these things here and now are being offered to me, and everything is being paid from visa to the tickets and everything and reservation, which is a very good thing. But then for me alone, yes, I had to go to school. But then next year, I'll put my A game on.
World Top Model Ghana has given me a lot of opportunities since I joined the pageant. First of all, it gave me the opportunity on the final day to show my talent to the world in 5 minutes, which I think was a great feat. It's also given me the opportunity to travel, which I will be doing this month, to represent Ghana at a very important competition. On top of that, I believe it has exposed us to the media community. We've done a lot of TV interviews and radio interviews as well, and that's very important to put us out there.
And if you do not win, there's still opportunities for you out there. We're seeking talent, and we're seeking for the next big thing. We're seeking for the next big person. I mean, your life can just change in split seconds, just instantly. So we just like you to put your A game on and just come forward to us, send your catwalk video, send your portrait, send your full picture, then you just enter. Remember, entries has been extended to Wednesday, so please do it. Thank you.
That is how we wrap up tonight, the news at 6 on Adoatv. A recap of our top stories. Today, Parliament has been adjourned as 1/3 of its members were not in the chamber. Also, the National Road Safety Authority today has launched this year's road safety campaign. This year's is under the auspices of the Ministry of Transport. And in business, Minister of Finance Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta has made it clear that Ghana is not going to the International Monetary Fund for program support and bailout. And in sports, as the Black Stars of Ghana are still preparing for the FIFA 2022 World Cup, however, some key players will not be present for their qualifying match in Johannesburg. For more news, log on to our website, www.adoanewsonline.com. Don't miss any of our programs. Follow us on Facebook at Adoatv Ghana. Thanks to Adoatv Roofing Sheet and Cookware, Blue City Ties and Accessories, and Vena Mineral Water. I am Benedicta Dodu. Thanks for watching. You stay with us here.